Am I the bad guy for telling my father I won't invite him to our family movie nights anymore? I want to share a story about a family tradition that took a surprising turn. My husband and I have a monthly ritual with our children, who are 8 and 5 years old. Every last Saturday of the month, one of them gets to pick a movie for us to watch in theaters. After the film, we head to a favorite pizza place to discuss what we just saw. This tradition started as a way to teach our kids critical thinking skills, but it has blossomed into something we all cherish and look forward to. Last month, my son chose a movie called Flow, and it was a hit. The kids were buzzing with excitement, and during a visit, they told my father about our movie night. He expressed interest in joining us, and we happily invited him along. The kids loved having their grandfather there, and it felt like a perfect family outing. Fast forward to this month, and it was my daughter's turn to pick the movie. She was thrilled to choose the new Snow White reboot. Knowing her enthusiasm, I informed my father about our plans well in advance. However, a couple of days ago he surprised me by saying he wouldn't be joining us after all. His reasoning? He didn't want to watch a girly woke movie. I was taken aback. I tried to explain that this wasn't about him, it was about the kids and their excitement for the film. I also found it disappointing that he would skip the first movie my daughter picked, that he had been invited to. I told him that while he was free to opt out, we wouldn't be inviting him to future movie nights if he continued to dismiss the kids' choices based on his preconceived notions. This didn't sit well with him. He accused me of being petty and claimed I was making up too many rules for the time he spent with his grandchildren. I felt conflicted. Was I being unreasonable for wanting to protect my children from his dismissive attitude? In the comments section of my original post, many people agreed with me. They pointed out that he could choose not to attend, but I could also choose not to invite him if he wasn't willing to support the kids' interests. It was clear that the essence of our family movie nights was about togetherness, not just watching films that everyone would love. I shared my concerns about my father's comments and attitudes. He had previously opted out of movies he deemed unworthy, and I worried about the messages he might inadvertently send to my children. While he had never directly expressed his views in front of them, I couldn't shake the feeling that his dismissive language could influence how they viewed themselves and their interests. It was disappointing to see him prioritize his opinions over the joy of spending time with his grandchildren. He often lamented about wanting to be more involved in their lives, yet when given the chance, he chose to step back because of a movie he hadn't even seen. I also considered how this would look to my children. If he attended my son's movie, but not my daughter's, what message would that send? The whole point of our tradition was to encourage open-mindedness and critical thinking. I wanted my kids to understand that sometimes we have to step outside our comfort zones and embrace things we might not initially enjoy. As I reflected on the situation, I realized that this was about more than just a movie night. It was about teaching my children the importance of valuing their interests and standing up for themselves. I wanted them to know that it's okay to be excited about something, even if others might not understand or appreciate it. In the end, I stood firm in my decision. I wanted to create a nurturing environment for my kids, free from negativity and dismissive attitudes. While I hoped my father would come around and join us in the future, I knew that I had to prioritize my children's happiness and well-being above all else. So what do you think? Was I right to take a stand, or did I overreact? I recently found myself in a bit of a family conundrum regarding our family movie nights, and it all started with my father. You see, I had been hosting these movie nights for my children, and I wanted to make sure they enjoyed the films they picked. However, my father's attitude toward the movies began to create some tension. The last time we planned a movie night, my father initially expressed interest in joining us. But as soon as he found out what film we were going to watch, he changed his mind. He didn't think he would enjoy it, and that was disappointing. It wasn't just about the movie, it was about spending time with his grandchildren. I felt frustrated because I was putting in the effort to create these moments, and he was opting out based on a preconceived notion of the film. After some back and forth, I decided to tell him that I wouldn't be inviting him to our movie nights anymore. I thought it was important for my kids to feel supported in their choices, and I didn't want my father's preferences to overshadow their excitement. I was trying to teach them that it's okay to enjoy what they love, regardless of what others think. Some people online felt I was being unreasonable, accusing me of trying to control my father. But I firmly believed that I wasn't trying to manipulate him. I just wanted him to make an effort to connect with his grandchildren. After all, he had the chance to spend quality time with them, and he was choosing not to because he thought the movie would be woke or girly. As the days passed, I reflected on the situation. I realized that my father often complained about wanting to spend more time with the kids, yet he was turning down opportunities to do just that. It was a frustrating contradiction. I understood that he had every right to choose not to watch a movie he thought he wouldn't enjoy, but I also felt justified in my decision to stop inviting him if he wasn't willing to make an effort. After some time, I spoke with my father again. We had another argument, but we eventually reached a compromise. He would be invited to my son's next movie pick, and then we would reassess the situation. He wasn't thrilled about the arrangement, but he agreed. This whole experience has left me feeling a bit disillusioned. I love my father. He is a wonderful grandfather. I've been grappling with the realization that he may not be the kind of person I want to be around all the time. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I know it's something I need to work through. As for the movie we ended up watching, I can share that it received mixed reviews from our family. I gave it a 4 out of 10, noting that while the production design was nice, the sound mixing left much to be desired. My husband rated it a 6 out of 10, enjoying the songs but not the CGI. My son, who had never liked the original movie, also gave it a 6, while my daughter rated it an 8, loving it despite some creepy dwarf characters. Through it all, I've learned that family dynamics can be complicated, especially when it comes to balancing personal preferences with the desire to create lasting memories. I hope that moving forward, we can find a way to enjoy our family time together, regardless of the movie choices. Let me take you on a little journey through the ups and downs of family movie nights, a seemingly simple tradition that turned into a bit of a family saga. It all started when I decided to host regular movie nights with my husband and our 2 kids. We were excited to spend quality time together, sharing laughs and enjoying films that would entertain both the little ones and the adults. Now my daughter, who is a big fan of all things whimsical, had her heart set on picking a movie that I wasn't particularly thrilled about. But hey, it was her turn to choose, and I was determined to let her have that moment. After all, family movie nights are about making memories, right? Surprisingly, my husband and son ended up enjoying the film more than I did, which just goes to show that sometimes you have to embrace the unexpected. However, there was one person who didn't share our enthusiasm: my father. He had a habit of voicing his opinions about the movies we watched, often dismissing my children's choices as too girly. I had been careful to shield my kids from his comments, but it became increasingly difficult to ignore his negativity. I knew I had to address it. One evening, after another movie night, I decided to have a heart-to-heart with my father. I explained that while he was entitled to his opinions, his refusal to engage with the films my kids enjoyed was taking a toll on our family dynamic. I mean, how could he prioritize his dislike for a movie over the chance to bond with his grandchildren? I gently told him that if he wasn't willing to make an effort to join us, I would have to reconsider inviting him to our movie nights. To my surprise, he didn't take it well. He seemed more focused on his own preferences than on the joy of spending time with family. I stood my ground, reminding him that actions have consequences. If he chose to skip out on family fun, then I wouldn't feel compelled to reach out to him anymore. As I reflected on our relationship, I realized that this wasn't just about movies. It was about the growing distance between us, which had been exacerbated by the state of the world and our differing values. I wanted my children to feel supported in their interests, whether that meant watching a classic like The Wizard of Oz or a newer animated film. In the spirit of keeping things light, I shared some of my kids' favorite films, like Ghostbusters, School of Rock, and the ever-popular Mary Poppins. My daughter had even expressed her love for Wicked, which was a proud moment for me as a parent. It was clear that my kids had their own unique tastes, and I wanted to celebrate that, not stifle it. As I navigated this tricky situation, I couldn't help but think about how family dynamics can shift over time. It's a delicate balance of respecting each other's opinions, while also fostering an environment where everyone feels included. I hoped that by standing up for my children, I could encourage my father to reconsider his approach, and perhaps join us for a movie night in the future. In the end, I realized that family movie nights are about more than just the films we watch. They're about the connections we build and the memories we create together. So, whether it's a classic or a new favorite, I'll keep the popcorn popping and the movie nights rolling, with or without my father. After all, family is what you make of it, and I'm determined to make it a fun and inclusive experience for everyone involved.